Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is 1:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in Southern Ontario. I'm your host, Doug. A message to my listeners and followers, potentially new listeners and new followers. Why north of Fair? You probably noticed a name change, and I want you to know it's more than cosmetic. This podcast started as a place to challenge the headlines, but over time it's become something deeper. A space to defend democracy, call out injustice, and push for something better. North of Fair isn't just a title, it's a direction. Fair is the baseline. I'm aiming higher. I'm rooted in Canadian values, but not afraid to confront the forces, foreign and domestic, that threaten them. If you're here to think critically, speak boldly, and stand your ground, you're exactly where you belong. Welcome to the North of Fair Conversations Without Barriers. The authoritarian narcissist in office. What happens when ego becomes ideology? When leadership isn't about service, it's about self. And today we're exploring the authoritarian narcissist, not as a diagnosis, but as a pattern. From global strongmen to democratic discomforts, we'll unpack how narcissist traits can distort leadership, policy, and public trust. Because when power performs, democracy watches. Let's start with the traits. Psychologists describe narcissist leaders as grandiose. They see themselves as exceptional, destined to lead. Admiration seeking. They thrive on applause, not on accountability. Lack on empathy. They dismiss suffering unless it serves their image. Manipulative. They use charm, fear, and division to control perception. These traits aren't just personality quirks. They shape how leaders govern, communicate, and respond to dissent. Narcissist leaders often rise through charisma. They're bold, confident, and decisive. Qualities we often mistake for strengths. But once in office, charm can curdle into control. Loyalty becomes currency. Critics become enemies. And institutions bend to serve the leader's image, not the public good. The shift is subtle, but the consequences are seismic. In early 2022, the Freedom Convoy brought thousands to Ottawa, protesting COVID-19 mandates. The federal government responded with emergency powers, freezing financial accounts, and increasing police presence. Supporters saw this as a necessary step to restore order. Critics raised concerns about civil liberties and executive overreach. That moment sparked debate. Was this decisive crisis management or troubling precedent for protest policing? where dissenting voices being addressed or suppressed in a democracy. The line between public safety and political optics is razor thin. And when leaders walk it, we should all be watching. Narcissist leadership often shapes policy for performance. Flashy announcements, photo ops, short-term wins, long-term planning. Collaboration, that's not the game. In Canada, we've seen housing policy framed more by headlines than affordability. Immigration programs pitched for labor optics, while young Canadians struggle to find work. When ego drives policy, people pay the price. The fallout isn't just political, it's democratic. Trust erodes. Citizens lose faith in institutions. Polarization deepens. Leaders pick groups against each other to maintain control. Rules bend. Governance becomes a stage, not a service. Democracy isn't about voting, it's about accountability, empathy, and shared purpose. And when those values are replaced by ego, democracy dims. This week, look closely at your leaders. Local, provincial, federal. Are they building trust? Are they serving the public? Because democracy doesn't just need defenders. It needs discerners. This is the first podcast under the new title, North of Fair, Conversations Without Barriers. It's an introduction under the new brand. But thank you for listening. This is North of Fair, Conversations Without Barriers. I'm your host, Doug from Ontario, Canada. Thank you for listening.